So guys, welcome back to another very much dogshit DLC of Studio Wildcard. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit. The map is actually not too bad. The map, yeah. But this right here is every PvP player's worst nightmare. I hated Shadowmanes like they were literally one of the worst freaking additions to the game back in Ark Survival Evolved. And I think everyone hates flamethrowers and how overpowered they are. And now we got both flamethrowers and Shadowmanes mixed together into the pyromane. It's basically a Shadowmane, but it can light everything on fire with various flamethrower-like attacks, but it's getting even worse. We will also take a look into Ratholes, and if you are able to spawn inside of beds in Ratholes, let's get into it. Yeah, everyone's most hated creature combined with everyone's most hated weapon, basically. Oh, it can't do the Shadowmane jump. But yeah, let's look at this. Flamethrower! With every attack, it's basically a flamethrower. Oh, let me absorb your fire, baby! Look what it does. It does this fucking trail of fire. Hold right click. Look at this. This is basically an eternal flamethrower. Look at this. Imagine like 10 players running here. I would have killed them all, even if they would have beard up. There's no way of like running away from that, especially when I can still attack and light them on fire. Then of course there's this. This is a shoulder pad now. It's Control and C. You can access this as usual, like holding R. You can access its inventory, and you can basically press allow AI special attacks and change it from off to high, and then it will light everything on fire like a flamethrower. Like I allowed AI special attack and it's lighting everything on fire. Look! It's a fucking flamethrower! It's a fucking shoulder flamethrower. Fire it. Fire it! Fire it! Yeah, look at this. Look at this. It's just a shoulder pad flamethrower. That's so crazy, man. Did you see the fucking range of that? And it's absorbing its flame as well, so if you're getting back to normal size, it's already full flame absorption, I don't know what to call it, and then you can just hold it and do an eternal flamethrower on the ground. So crazy, man. It's so overpowered. I hate it. I hate it, you guys. I hate it. I don't hate you guys, I hate the Shadowmane, like the fire Shadowmane. So even if you're getting attacked, you can just ride the Shadowmane. This is way too OP. This is way too OP. And back to shoulder pad mode. And once you're here, there's a turret death wall. Let's say there's a turret death wall in front, and you need to clear the pathway. This is enemy structures, by the way. And it's completely ignoring enemy structures. It's not like a cryopod you have to throw, where enemy dinosaur structures or players would prevent the uncryoing process. No, you can change it to normal mode wherever you want, in enemy foundation range, inside of enemy caves, and then you can just rush enemy death walls. And yeah, obviously you can also, like with the Shadowmanes, you can probably also have a rocket launcher in your hand. So this is absolutely broken. This is absolutely broken. Doesn't matter how small the entrance is, if you can fit your player, you can fit your shoulder pad. You can't change it back to normal size if it's not fitting in the area. But if it's fitting in the area, you can fucking uncryo it again, or like changing it back to a normal size, you know what I mean, guys. And then you can rush turret walls inside of caves. This, not really crouch point, but this choke point is not preventing you from just Shadowmane or rocket running everything you want. If you have enough people, boom. Yeah, it's just broken. It's just very much broken. You can basically rocket run everything you want. Just this is a 150 level, 150 Shadowmane, force tamed, but you can already see on what level the HP will be very, very soon, because it's breedable, obviously. So absolutely broken. You had to pay $5 for it, so it's definitely pay to win. If you're not buying this creature, you are so far behind. You won't have your portable shoulder pad flamethrower where you can just flamethrower everything, enemies, enemy dinos, enemy players, off tames probably. So this is completely broken and you have to pay $5 for it. So if you didn't buy it, it's just pay to win. It's just pay to win, guys. You have to have it to compete in PvP, otherwise you won't stand a chance against players with that as their shoulder pad, or with players just riding that and lighting everything on fire with the normal melee attacks. Except you're in the water, even if they are slower. Look at the jump. The normal jump with the Shadowman is already so far, even though it's not the dash you had with a normal Shadowman, but this Flamethrower Shadowman is basically the same. It's a copy, just that you can't have the dash, but the normal jump is already way too far to to call it anything of a nerf. Basically, it's just broken. Yeah, then obviously there's stuff like that. I won't show the coordinates to it or something, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Everyone is finding that spot in single player. It's so huge, it's so big, and yeah, it's basically just a mesh hole. You just go into it and then you're under the mesh. I might as well write my pyromane inside of here. This is in the mesh, by the way. And let's actually see if we can spawn here. That would be so freaking awesome if we could spawn inside of the mesh. Wildcat, that would be 1 trillion IQ. You can actually spawn in the mesh here. Perfect. Like I said, if you can spawn in single player like this, when your beds are rendered and single player lets you spawn in a bed nearby while you are rendering it, it's 99% that you can spawn on official servers here as well. With the addition, like I have to add, maybe the anti-mesh system on official is a little bit different when it comes down to being inside of the mesh, because I'm here obviously in the GCM mode, so I would give that shit benefit of the doubt. Maybe you will get an anti-mesh here, but in general it should be able to spawn there. In general it should be able to get working beds inside of here. Let's see if we can spawn inside of Ratholes or inside of Rathole-like locations. That's also very important for solo players, duo players, for small tribes that need to hide. And this is a perfect spot. This is a perfect spot to test it. It's already looking like a very viable, like, Rathole-like location. Well, maybe not, but maybe not so viable. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh no, it's not a Rathole. But yeah, this is the perfect spot to test if beds are working. Let's check it. So the old anti-mesh mechanism would be that you wouldn't be able to spawn inside of these beds because above there is textures and it's not an intended cave. So normally you wouldn't be able to spawn inside of the beds. Oh, you are able to spawn here actually. You are actually able to spawn here. This is good news, you guys out there that want to hide from the big players. This is very good news. You can spawn in beds even if there is kind of textures above you. For example, on Island or on Scorched Earth, you were not able to spawn in such beds. Let's test it like right here. Putting up 2 beds here. I renamed that one into 11111 so we can see it more clearly. 11111, and you're able to spawn here as well. So this is a very good news. This is actually, I mean, if they wouldn't fucked up the fucking pay-to-win Shadowman Flamethrower shoulder pad, then I would be pretty happy now. But this Shadowman is way too broken. It needs a nerf immediately. It's kind of bad that the mesh beds were working because they are 100% changing something. With that being a thing, so maybe they will actually change the Rathole beds working because of the mesh beds working as well. For example, that looks good. Let's check if beds are working here. call that like this. Again, if you are able to spawn here, should be also possible on official servers, and it is. You are able to spawn here. Pretty good news for Ratholes, for Rathole players. Yeah, look, I found a kind of Rathole. I mean, it's not big, it's not good. But we can check if beds are also working in those kind of spots. There's one bed, and then we only have to get another bed, or we'll name it like that. Getting a bed here, and then we're trying to spawn inside of the other bed. That's called EGGG. And yes, Ratholes are indeed working, and also should be working on official servers. That's really, really a good news. This is the part where I'm at on the map. You can actually have a really, really viable base here. What the fuck? Like, I don't know if... How did I even get in here? Oh, here's the entrance. That's the entrance to this thing! Like, this is completely broken. Obstructed again. The mesh is super weird here. Mesh base? Question mark? Yeah, you can't spawn here. Okay, beds are not working here, so there is some sort of anti-mesh protection, but they like balance it a lot more. They balance it a lot more. Okay, you can't spawn in these beds here, for example, which is very good news. So there's still anti-mesh protection preventing you to spawn inside of beds like this. They're kind of sketchy, not gonna lie, so it's reasonable to not being able to spawn here. No, I lost my pyromane. How shall I ever win a flamethrower fight? No. Let's see if you can spawn on that plateau. Oh, you can't even... Oh, you can, okay. You definitely have to call him something else, like this. My phone number. Oh, you can spawn in my phone number, at least, so... Yeah. I mean, you can't spawn in the weird spot I was at a minute ago, but you can spawn here. Textures above you are apparently not preventing you from spawning into beds, which is super good news. Super, super good news. Like, just look at the base spot opportunities you have everywhere. Okay, you can't spawn here, apparently. So the anti-mesh system is still preventing you from spawning in some beds. This is getting anti-mesh detected here, so this is kind of weird, not gonna lie. Can you spawn here? The anti-mesh is still detecting some beds. Oh, this is looking like my old telephone number, right? So it's a new telephone number. Okay, you can spawn here. So this is definitely much more reasonable compared to Scorched Earth or Island, where you wouldn't be able to spawn anywhere where textures would be above you. So this is much more reasonable here, that you're able to spawn here, for example. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. So let's check one last spot, I would say, guys, and then we can call it a day for today, and then we're starting our Mega Trap series once the official servers are back up. Official servers are down right now because Wildcard fucked something up really badly again. There's no bad? Okay. Didn't I call it something? Yeah, my pyromane is gone. Okay, doesn't matter too much. You should be able to spawn in Ratholes. You should be able to spawn inside of the mesh as a little conclusion. You should be able to raid every single base spot in this game with the new pyromane. At least cave base spots. Should be way easier to rush caves now. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. That's about it. Hope we are seeing us on center. I'm starting with my Mega Tribe. Oh, look at my legs. We are starting with my Mega Tribe for the next video, and afterwards I will be starting solo on small tribes, and then we have Mega Tribe videos, and then we have solo small tribes series, and then we have super nice content. I'm hyped that you can spawn in Ratholes. To be honest, that was the most important thing for me. Tell me in the comments what's the most important thing for you guys. Do you like the flamethrower shadow main maybe? Just tell me in the comments, guys. I'm hyped to hear your thoughts on the center map. I didn't explore much of the caves, but there will be a million other videos on YouTube, I bet, that are exploring the new caves, so I don't have to do that here on this channel. We are looking more into the PvP side. Oh yeah, and then we had the Cryopod change from 5 minutes to 90 seconds. Doesn't do much. It's still the same conditions you have to meet. Basically, you have to have a cryo fridge in range. You can't uncryo anything in enemy foundation range when enemy players are nearby. But thanks God we have a flamethrower shadow main shoulder pad now that you can just ride inside of enemy caves. So it doesn't matter if you can't uncryo stuff. I guess you can just shadow main rocket run everything now. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see us in the next center videos. This is just the start. And yeah, have a nice day. We see us. Goodbye. Okay, this is my single player obviously because Wildcard fucked something up again. And now you could... there was a bug where you could just cryo everything. Like enemy dinos, wild dinos. So
take a moment right here. Feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair.